boys and girls, germs and worms, yes sir. Okay, so just a quick, what the heck do we got going on here? Okay, clear. We were asked a question. I'm just trying to find it here again. Okay, by Mazda. Oh, like this was hard to read, but you know, you're always trying to pronounce these out. Mazda rules. No, they don't. They just go zoom zoom. Okay, so asked, do you use a Nexus card for the border? Okay, so if I remember correctly, Nexus is for people in cars. Okay, it's not for truck drivers. Truck drivers, now if you're a US driver, you use what's called a CDRP card, okay, or your passport. A lot of guys are now applying for the CDRP card. Okay, as a Canadian driver, why is there dirt on this? Anyone know? Why is there dirt on my card? Okay, so you use a Fast Express card. See, my picture, I look like a criminal. So, yeah, I'm just covering my personal information so you can't see it. So there you go. It has a barcode on the back. Ooh. Has a barcode, see? 2 of them. And that's what they scan. As far as, I guess we can put that down here. And it makes crossing the border much easier as a truck driver, so I don't need to use my passport. And holy crap, always is my glass is dirty. So, anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there. Yeah, so, because, you know, today's vlog sucked and I didn't do it. So, we're going to do some Q&A today. And so, I hope you guys don't mind. It was a sucky day. Yeah, I'm in the truck, but even though technically I was at home. But, so, I'm throwing this in there for Monday's vlog. Like I said, Monday's vlog was just me sitting at home being lazy, doing some house cleaning, and playing video games. So, it wasn't much exciting. So, alright, next question. Alrighty, guys. Okay, so, next question. As I said in the last clip there, it's Monday. We had nothing for video, so this is part of Monday's vlog. I hope you guys don't mind. Okay, so a question that I get asked tons and tons and tons of times, and it's really, I won't call it an unfair question, but it's a question that can't be answered very easily. Okay, so here we go. The question I get asked is, how much can I expect to make a month? And I get asked this quite a bit, and we had one recently, and that's why I decided to do this in the Q&A-ish type vlog part of it. Okay, so here's the hard part. It's not like going to work locally, where you're going to work at the Home Depot or McDonald's or Walmart or Joe Blow's Plumbing, whoever, you know, where each position has a set salary. You know, you can pretty much guaranteed to get 40 hours. You're working 9 to 5, you know, you're gonna do 40 hours or 50 hours a week or whatever. So there is no set salary in that sense, and so it makes it kind of hard to say what a driver's going to make per month. And a lot of new guys obviously ask this question because they don't really understand what it is. And I've again had a comment in my what to expect your first year video when I mentioned the CPM, cents per mile. A guy freaked out because he didn't understand that it's a per mile. And a lot of guys don't realize when you say, you know, 30 cents, 35 cents, 40 cents, 25 cents, whatever cents per mile it is, and you say that to them, their eyes like go like this, and they go, oh my God, you must be kidding, that's all you make? Okay, so, quick math, okay? Now, you gotta remember, I've got a number of years experience. Now, the problem in this industry is, it doesn't matter whether you have 3 years experience or 5 years experience, we'll start at that, because a lot of companies switch at the 5 years, or max out at after 5 years. 5 years experience or 20 years experience. Your CPM rate, cents per mile rate, basically maxes out, okay? Now, here at Sell It On Canada, we max out at 45 cents per mile. And that's after a number of years with the company, a few years, not that many. Doesn't take much. You get a half-cent raise pretty much every year until you max out at 45 or 44 really, and then the 1 cent quarterly bonus that's paid out once a year for the safety bonus. And so because I had 3 years verifiable, obviously, I mean, I've got 18 years behind the wheel as far as over the road goes, 27 years total commercial experience, you know, driving little trucks, big trucks, medium trucks, whatever trucks. But when I was coming back here, I've been back here now 8 months basically, I'm at 41 cents per mile. Okay, I don't mind telling you guys that, because if you call, you're going to find out anyways what the driver gets per mile. You've got to work it out. What's the average? So my average miles right now is about 2,500 miles. This is basically industry wide for a lot of the major carriers. This is, you know, 2,500 miles per week, so that's about 10,000 miles per month. Okay, so you guys can do the math. At 41 cents, that's $4,100 a month plus your extras. What are the extras? You say, well, it all depends on what company you work for, what it is you're doing. Extras such as border cross pay, you know, if there's any layovers, any waiting time, you know, stop pay if you're working for a company that does a lot of LTL. You know, there's any number of things that could be considered additional pay, and a lot of guys are thinking, well, that doesn't really add much. Actually, it does add up to quite a bit when you look at the big picture over time. So now here's the thing. $4,100, that's a base, okay? Roughly what you can count on if you're getting 41 cents a mile with an average of 2,500 miles a week. Now, if you're a slacker and you goof off a lot and you hang out in the truck stops a lot and you turn down loads and you don't want to go here and I don't want to go there and you're late for stuff and you set your available times, like you come in, you've only worked half a day and you set your available time for the next day. Well, you've lost half a day here, half a day there. You know, so that's going to affect your overall miles. Now, if you're someone who comes in and just takes whatever they give you, you go wherever they send you, quickly it'll develop that reputation of just doing whatever, they like you, you'll get better runs, better miles. I mean, you can do more than 2,500 miles a week easily on an average, depending on where you work. There was a time where I was averaging 3,200 miles a week with, you know, a few years ago. So, you know, it all depends where you work, how hard you're willing to work, how hard you're willing to run. Now, you may be willing to run hard, but they just may not have those miles to give you. So you got to look at what the fleet average is, okay, if you want to get an idea. And the best way to do that is call the different companies. Now, you could be calling and talking to a company that's only going to start you off at 32 cents a mile. But they say fleet average is 10,000 miles, so then that's $3,200 a month. So that's, you know, $900 a month difference from what my base would be to your base, or, you know, 34 cents or 35 cents, 30 cents, whatever. So there is that's the problem with the trucking industry. There is a huge difference from one end of the scale to the next end of the scale. Now, here's the other thing that's over the road. Now, you're going to go over the road, you're going to go regional, you're going to go dedicated, you're going to go local. All those things play into how much you're going to make. So I do things a little differently, okay? And I'll just give you this run in particular as soon as I find my phone, because I heard it go off. Okay? Now, what the company pays you, okay, and what you actually do are two different things. Too many guys are hung up on the actual miles that they do versus what they're getting paid. Oh, I'm losing this, I'm losing that. Because a lot of companies pay city center to city center. Some pay city edge to outer city. It varies on the mileage, okay, as to what people pay. Now, this particular trip, it started off in Quebec, not Quebec City, but Gatineau, and it's going to Laredo, okay? Now, it paid 2,100 miles. I'm just rounding it down to 21. It's actually just a couple over. But 2,100 miles, okay, times my base equals $861. Now, this is where I look at my GPS, and I'll get into this in another video because this is pretty much taking up the rest of today's vlog compared to the other day, but I think this is important. I might eventually do a separate video on this, but I just want to give you guys an idea on how I calculate whether, you know, I'm making decent money or not. Okay, so 860 miles. Now the trip from Gatineau to Laredo, according to my computer here, I don't go by what they tell me, I go by what my GPS tells me, because it's actually pretty good on time. It actually calculates a little extra time, which is good. Came out to 34.5 hours. Add another 2.5 hours on, because it's going to take 3 days, a little over 3 days. Well, 3.5 days. So add on 2.5 or even 3 hours. We'll say 37.5 hours total. With that's your on-duty time, like pre-trips, etc. Loading time was not a big deal because it was a drop and hook. Delivery time's not a big deal because it's drop and hook. So it's included in that 3 hours. Okay, so 37 hours. So $861 divided by 37 hours equals an average of 23.27 per hour. Okay? So, and then you got to keep doing. You can't do it on a per trip basis, because some trips you'll make, it won't look very good. I can tell you that much. Other trips it'll look awesome, like this one. So you got to do it over the month. Like, just keep calculating your hours, etc., and look at it that way. Okay, so this trip's paying me that $861. I can do it. I should be able to do it in this amount of time. Blah blah blah. This is what I'm going to make. Give yourself a little extra room there, wiggle room. So, you know, even if it knocks it down to 20 bucks an hour, that's still pretty decent wage, man. So, but anyway, we'll do another video just solely on calculating income and what to expect and how I do things, how I calculate my time, etc., 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 etc. Okay? So, anyway, okay, so Monday's vlog is a bust. I gave you a couple of Q&As here. I'll give you one more real quick. All right, so quick one here to I just add to today's vlog and finish it off here real quickly, so that at least we have 3 questions in this. So, and this is just a really simple one. Charlie Collins writes and asks, curious why you use your own towels when they are provided. Well, number one, I don't really trust the truck stop towels. Not that much. I mean, if I forget mine in the truck, well, obviously I got to use the one in the truck stop. But I'm a creature of habit. I like my own towel. I'm just funny that way, I guess. I know a lot of truck stops have clean towels, but you know, they're used so often. Yes, they rewash them every time. But usually when you get in there, you'll find, like, the pilots, Flying J's, not all of them will give you 2 towels. The TA that I was at, on that last one, yeah, you had 2 towels, so not a big deal. But I always take the main towel, throw it down on the floor, because these are tiled floors and I walk around with my bare feet. So that way I have a floor mat, if you will. And they sometimes give you a smaller towel to put actually right in front of the shower as a floor mat, and then they give you a face cloth. But yeah, no, I'm just creature of habit. I like to use my own towel. There's a lot of guys out there, same thing. I just really do, just the way I am. Sorry, there's no particular reason. But you get to some of these truck stops, you look at the towels, and you can see some of them are pretty old, and they, you know, are overdue to be replaced, and then they're not that nice, and they're rough or whatever. It's just, I like my own towel. So that not a big answer, but there you go. Alrighty, one real quick question here from David Crook, who posted on the BigRigTalk Facebook page. Say I've got a little 5-gallon jug that I'd like to put clean water in to truck with. Where on the road can you get that much water without stepping on somebody's toes or looking too weird? Okay, so this is a real super easy one, okay? And I'm just going to use this one. There's a lot of places if you can get creative and whatnot, but the main one that's public use, real easy to get to, is Flying J truck stops, okay? All Flying J's have RV islands. So all it means is you gotta just carry your jug over to the RV island, hook up the hose, like just hose and water. Boom, there you go. They all have taps. And a lot of the truck stops even have the little faucets right there anyways, for filling the washer fluid jugs and things like that, and just water at various truck stops. They're at the fuel islands, okay? There's a lot of places. Yeah, you gotta watch. Some places they have fairly hard water, but if you go to where the RV islands are, guaranteed to have drinking water, because that's what that water's there for. It's meant for the RVs to fill up their tanks again with water. So, pretty simple one.